Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery here. It is Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. We tend to get together with our current and prospective distribution partners at 8 o'clock Central weekday mornings to talk about strategies, tips, techniques, keep you updated, and support each of you. Please remember we have a different set of Zooms that are most appropriate for potential clients. Those individuals that are looking for money to start or grow a business would probably be best served by our other Zooms where we focus on the client proposition versus our 8 a.m. morning Zooms, which are really for you as our distribution partners. So what we see on the screen today, which should be shared, is the business funding comparison sheet. This is not new. This has been around. We hope we encourage each of you to use this when you're visiting with prospective clients. So when you're interfacing with someone that's looking for money to start or grow a business, this is a great way, we believe, and most others have told me the same, to walk them through to accomplish an explanation of what is it that's included in the Shelf Corporation, the first column, but also to help them objectively evaluate what we offer versus what's available through their other options. And so they'll have to tell you what their other options are. We don't know what they're considering. It would be remarkably rare that they would have something that looks better on paper, that is a better deal. So this is very effective. Today's topic isn't to revisit it as much as it is the bottom row here, which is the out-of-pocket cost. So let me bring my topic back up. So what we're going to do is from today through December Eve, we're going to run a promotion to make it more accessible for people to get a Shelf Corp. So the Shelf Corp isn't changing. It's the same set of deliverables, the same value proposition. But what we're going to do is instead of requiring the 1,000 down, lower that to 250 as a Christmas promotion. Now, 250 is what we need on our end. If you're one of our distribution partners and you're wanting to mark that up, of course, you could do so. So the question is, do you know anyone that needs capital to start or grow a business, but has a limited budget, especially this time of year? Well, we know if someone's looking for money to start or grow a business, the key is to be qualified for funding. You see this, I bet, and I know I see it on a frequent basis. People want money, they need money, but they don't have a fundable business. So they want something that's unattainable. It's not consistent with the reality. So then what are we left to do? Well, we can educate them, of course, but beyond that, we can either build a fundable business or we can help them buy a business, a Shelf Corp, that's already ready to go to funding. So it's the normal business proposition of build versus buy. Let's say that you and I wanted to go get a cabin in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. We could either go build a cabin or we could buy one. Now, building a cabin has some positive attributes, right? We get to pick the land, we get to pick the architect, we get to pick the floor plan and the materials, but that takes more time and usually more money than buying a cabin that's already there. And that's a pretty good analogy. So we have fundable shelf corps that are ready to go to funding. Now, we need a couple days to get them transferred over. We're doing it in an expedited fashion to get everyone funded before Christmas that's enrolling now. But regardless, this is providing the same value proposition that we've been discussing, but with less out of pocket. And so we accomplish that legally and ethically through a Fundable Shelf Corporation. When we get together here in the mornings, it's great for you to ask the questions. If there's things that you don't understand or that doesn't make sense, type those into the Q&A, the question and answer. It's like a chat box of Zoom. That's a primary benefit of us getting together. So feel free, if any of these elements that we talk about of what's included in the Shelf Corp doesn't make sense, please ask. So again, the Christmas promotion is instead of the normal 1,000 down payment, which is referenced here, they can get started with just $250 out of pocket. Just makes it a little easier on their budget. So we'll do our best to get them funded before Christmas, plus they'll have less out of pocket. So the specific criteria, just so we don't have anyone come back and complain or not understand. So anyone that enrolls in the Fundable Shelf Corp program and they pay the 250 versus the 1,000, they're eligible for that on the dates from today, 12/18/2024 through Christmas Eve. And yeah, the 250 is still refundable. The cost of the Shelf Corp is refundable, and I see that's a question that David has. So we have a grant, and it's referenced right here. So we applied for and received a grant. So what's awesome is we're actually providing Shelf Corps for free, but you need to understand how that works. The participant is going to pay an initial down payment, normally 1,000 through the promotion 250, but that's not the total cost of the Shelf Corp, is it? No, the Shelf Corp, of course, cost more because of the deliverables. Now, how much it costs is up to you. As a distribution partner, you pick the sales price of the Shelf Corp. So the down payment is just that, it's a down payment. The balance of what is owed is financed. Therefore, the client's able to move forward without having to incur the entire cost of the Shelf Corp up front. That allows you to enroll a lot more people. The benefits are really, I think, summarized well on the comparison sheet, but they're bulleted here. So we're going to get them their first 100,000 in 24 hours. That's referenced. They're going to receive the elements to have a fundable business. Of course, that's the concept. So the business plan and financials are included. That's over here. If they find themselves with imperfect credit, which a lot of entrepreneurs have, then we address that. So it's not a barrier. It's not like someone would come to you and say, oh, I've got bad credit. Do I qualify? Well, that means that they even better qualify because they need our help. They need what you and I do so they can get funding. So the credit improvements included and free. You see that there. You see the check mark. Now, the problem with the credit improvement is it's not instant. We need 4 days to turn that around. Some people don't like that. They complain it's too long, but it is what it is. We're also going to provide them a free commercial address and an entity because those are elements that are needed to have a fundable business. They'll have access to daily deposits through the Opportunity Fund, which you can see over here on the comparison sheet as well. And again, there's no risk to the participant. Our support information, of course, is the same with Madison calling her. Our YouTube channel has prior trainings, including where we went through in more detail this sheet and other information. And then, of course, if you just simply wanted to be an affiliate, you can do that on 509 Pacific, whereby as an affiliate, you just refer people in. You're not responsible for explaining anything or collecting any money. So with that being said, let's open it up to questions, comments, concerns. Who has anything that you'd like to contribute? It can be regarding the Christmas promotion or anything else about the Shelf Corp. All right, so Jeff's asking, well, why are we doing this? Well, the reason that we're doing this is to help more people and help you. So, of course, if you run a Shelf Corp store, you control the pricing, and that pricing times volume determines your income, and you control that. But the bottom line is we can help more people. So we're just wanting to help more people and end the month strong. All right, and then Claude asks, yes, so all of you should have some resources, and the resources that you should, and if you don't, get with Madison, she can get them to you. But you should have an editable version of this comparison sheet where you change the call to action to have your information, of course. And then also, as Claude's referencing, each of you have the Shelf Corp agreement, which we provide you the template, you remove our information, you put yours on, because our approach is that of a white label partnership. So you're going out under your branding, and that allows you to control the price. If you're going out under our branding, everyone would have to have the same price, or we'd have pricing inconsistency, which would not be good in the marketplace. So yes, Claude, you have the editable agreement, and you're able to edit it as you wish. If that doesn't make sense, or if I didn't answer your question, Claude, let me know. All right, Jeff says, do we need to have a definite idea of what type of business? Well, with the Shelf Corp, these are all set up under SIC code for management consulting, which is great because it's a very fundable industry code, and it's broad enough that you could do other things along with it. So the Shelf Corp provides the structure and the fundability components, but certainly then you're able to take the funding that you receive, Jeff, and do those things that you want with it, above and beyond just being a management consultant. All right. Craig asks, can ownership be more than one person? Yes. I mean, it's very common that businesses have multiple owners. Some businesses have hundreds of owners, some have thousands. Some companies, especially publicly traded, could have millions of different owners. So there's no problem there. From your perspective, Craig, you're going to get the client under contract with one of the authorized principals, and they're going to sign your Shelf Corp contract. They're going to pay you, and then we handle all the back office implementation. Craig's question goes a little bit deeper. So there's obviously different lenders, and different lenders have different underwriting criteria. But Craig, you're right. In general, traditional business lenders will look to anyone that has 20% or more ownership to be part of the documentation set. So if you had someone that was kind of a weak link, you could make them 19%, at least temporarily, and they would be off the radar. But you could change ownership later, of course. Tevin's asking about credit again. Yeah, the lower the score, the better, right? Because they get more value out of Tevin. If you're talking to someone that has really low scores, that's great, right? Because they're going to get even more value. So Tevin, let's say you had two prospects. You had a 500 credit score prospect and an 800 credit score prospect. Both are fine to participate. Both would see the benefit, but frankly, the low credit score client would see the most benefit because there's an extra resource that is included that would benefit them. Like if you go to a buffet, you go to Golden Corral, could a vegetarian go to Golden Corral buffet? Sure. But if you also enjoy the meat selection, you get even more value for the same price. So yeah, low credit is not a concern. What we're doing is we're taking businesses, and we can either build a fundable business, or we can accelerate it faster, cheaper, easier, and free because of the reimbursement of the grant, and they can actually buy a fundable business. And so that's why we're selling so many of these. Zahn asked a question. So the purchase price of the Shelf Corp is determined by you, Zahn, and you, Claude, and you, Corinthian. Each of you pick what the sales price is of what the client pays for the Shelf Corp. So you're in control of that. You pick client pricing. Now, we need a certain amount on the front end to be able to cover our cost of processing the deal. And so in the past, that was 1,000. And with the promotion that we're running this week, then the Christmas bonus, that's reduced to 250. But in terms of the total purchase price, that's entirely up to you what you want to sell it for. So, we have our wholesale cost. Our wholesale cost is not a markup. It's just simply covering our cost of providing the scope of services. Anything that you want to charge above the wholesale costs on or everyone else is up to you, and it's your profit. If you want to charge below the wholesale cost, you can. You can use the Shelf Corp as a loss leader. I have a number of you that are actually giving these away, actually providing the Shelf Corp where the client has no out of pocket. That's all entirely up to you. But for us to provide the scope of services, which are packaged as the Shelf Corp, we need our part, otherwise we're losing money. Great questions. Craig asks a question which points out how incapable I am, Craig, so thank you for calling me out. So yes, the whole topic today, Craig, is 250. Yeah, so Craig's asking, is the deposit 250 for the Shelf Corp? Yes, Craig, that's exactly what we've been talking about for 16 minutes. So that's the promotion. We've talked about the background. We've talked about the time frame. And then Craig, maybe you joined us late. I'm sorry if I'm not doing a good job, but that's the point today is clients can get started for just 250 out of pocket. Yes, sir. Sorry if I didn't make that clear enough. That's actually why we're talking about this today. So who else has questions, comments, concerns? All right, so John brings up a good point. So we know we need 250 to process the deal. So if you want to charge more on the front end, then you can charge more on the front end. That's fine. Or you can pass it through, just get clients enrolled and make your money off the back end of the performance fee. That's up to you. You manage your own businesses, you control your P&L, you control client pricing. So John, if I guess the concept you might want to consider is for the next week, go out to the marketplace and let's go close a bunch of deals, close them at 250, and then you'll make a windfall of income off the performance fees from their capital raise. So if you're willing to do that, that would work ideal. You don't have to do that. You can mark it up, but normally we need 1,000 for our side to cover the onboarding, the initial processing. That is reduced to 250 for deals signed between today and Christmas Eve. So do any of you think that this could help you close some deals? Maybe you have some prospects that haven't signed yet. Maybe it's because of Christmas and the holidays. So just curious, Charles, do you have any deals that you think that this might help you close this week? Christopher, Claude, Corinthian, Craig, Cybercom, Eric, Mr. Harris, Gilbert. We have 324 of you, so I don't want to say everyone's names, but just curious for feedback. Will this help? Because in our society, people tend to pay the most attention to what is my out-of-pocket cost? What is my out-of-pocket cost? What's it going to impact me right now? And so normally they would need to pay 1,000, but we're running a seasonal promotion. I don't think it'll be extended. I don't think it'll be available again. I don't know, maybe next Christmas, but we're just doing this to help you close more deals, because clients that get Shelf Corps, they're guaranteed the funding. You pick what the performance fee is on the back end, and that's where the money is made anyway. So let's get a bunch of clients enrolled over the next week. Let's get a bunch of clients funded, and let's get you paid a lot from their funding. That's the theme. Now, if you don't want to latch on to that, you want to keep charging the normal 1,000, you can. Again, if you're a white label partner, a distribution partner, you're able to control your own pricing. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns anyone has today? If things pop up, always feel free to give Madison a call, 903-352-3390. And then we'll be back tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.